Here from Republican Florida Congressman Carlos Gimenez. Congressman, it's great to see you. And many people are incensed by this. The thought that the IRS is going to be expanded to 6 times its current budget when so many issues are occurring at the border. We're not seeing more funding there. We're not seeing more funding at the State Department. Your thoughts on how Americans are going to have to cope with what is coming ahead?
Well, we're going to have to cope with 87,000 more IRS agents knocking on your door. You're going to have to cope with a heck of a lot more audits, not only of the wealthy, but also the middle class, the poor, small businesses. They're going to be, feeling the wrath of the IRS. Because remember, all these 87,000 IRS agents have to justify their existence. And the only way they can justify their existence is by getting more money out of yours and my pocket and everybody else in America. And so, I don't trust it. I think it's just bad. It sends a bad signal. We got so many other priorities here that this president will not fund and will not do. Now he's going to come after, mom and pops and you and I and everybody else in America. Yeah, but the problem, of course, was that with this reckless spending bill that he's added onto his tab here, he needed to justify in some way that they had a solution or an ability to pay for it. But they're basically saying, we're coming after you. You're paying for it. So, people really need to understand what happened here, right? No, absolutely. And by the way, nobody asked for this. So let's see. We've got record inflation. So the way we're going to deal with record inflation is by spending more money. We're in the midst of a recession. So the way we're going to deal with the recession is by taxing more. It's crazy. It's absolutely, it's a bizarre world. It's completely upside down. Everything you and I learned, in economics is turned on its head with this administration and the Democrat Party. I mean, things that we know won't work. We're in the midst of this record inflation because of all the trillions of dollars we spent last year. So we're going to spend more money again this year, and that's inflation fighting bill.
Right.
What a joke! I mean, everything. Look, if you want to know what the bill doesn't do, any of these bills that the Democrats are passing, read the title, and then it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Whatever it says it's going to do the opposite. Okay.
Well, we had an economist on before, and he said, well, the title has nothing to do with what's actually going on here. I said, okay, yes, I think you're right on that. Right. And then he said, but, the onus is on the Fed. The Fed should just hike interest rates. That Jerome Powell's got the monetary tools to fix this problem. This administration and Congress, they don't have the tools to handle something like this. I didn't have the opportunity to go down that road with that particular economist, but really what the issue is Congress absolutely does. It's spending that got us into this mess. There's no way to think that spending more is going to get us out of this mess. We've been saying for the longest time, stop spending.
Well, also, look, even in this bill, it gives incentives for people not to go back to work because, with the Obamacare subsidies, then people not working are going to get better health care than people that are working. And so people that are out of the job market right now are going to stay out of the job market, which, again, will drive up the wages, which will drive up inflation. And then, with all the taxes they're going to put on corporations, that means that, we're not going to be producing as much. So we're going to have less jobs. They're going to be, going over to China, which is completely opposite of what we want to do. We want to bring jobs and industries back from China. This thing does the opposite. It's almost like, the Chinese are writing all these bills, okay? Because all these bills just benefit one place. It benefits China. And my question is, why? We know that. We're not that dumb, okay? So why are we putting all this, into legislation? And why is it being passed? Things that we know are going to benefit communist China. Makes no sense whatsoever.
It makes China stronger. It makes us weaker. There was a raid on the president's home last night, and I'll just add this before I let you go. But the investigation onto Hunter Biden's laptop and why maybe we are making certain negotiations and acting in certain ways with respect to China. There could be some light shed there, but nobody's raiding Hunter's house.
Well, that's a $64,000 question, and nobody's looking into it, but we should be looking into it really deeply because I'm really concerned about the information in that laptop. And why is it that we taking all these steps that do nothing for the United States but only makes China stronger? That's a great question.
Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much.